Okay, so this afternoon it's a rainy day here in Germany, and I thought it'd be really nice to talk to all the people that I know about that are passionate about mantra. And today I thought we'd chat to my Indian music teacher who's in Delhi, and he can share about his lifelong journey and passion for Indian classical music, mantra, and all that goes with it. Down all the way from Delhi, huh, Sudhanshu?
Yes, all the way from Delhi, and Helen all the way from Germany. It's
Yes,
nice to be connected. Technology is wonderful.
exactly, exactly. For these things, it's great. So, I just gave a little introduction when I was waiting for you to arrive. But I was saying basically the purpose of our chat today was to inform people a little bit more about what is about mantra, my love, bhakti mantra, but also about Indian classical music, which is where your lifelong journey has been and your passion and life I would say is dedicated around to this around
Yeah.
music. Who are you? Tell us a little bit about your journey into mantra, into music, and yeah.
So, for those who are not knowing me, I am Sudhanshu Sharma, uh, based in Delhi, and I'm an Indian classical musician, basically by profession. And I love to sing. I love to dive deep into the raga music, that is Indian classical music.
I'm
And
sorry to it's not raga. So many people won't even know what does raga mean. What's the rag?
so rag is basically the touchstone of mm, Indian classical music, which all Indian classical musicians try to aspire for, try to understand, try to dive deep into. It's basically a melodic structure composed of a set of notes and a set of rhythm cycle, set in a rhythm cycle, which you explore into. So it's like it's law and liberty together, where
You explaining melody and yeah. Can you
yeah,
write
so
it? Stop.
so this is what I was saying, that it's a set, it's a raga is a set of notes which is well bound in a melodic structure and a rhythmic cycle, which
Mhm.
appeals to the listener, appeals to the heart and mind of the listener. That is what a raga is. And this is how this sets you a periphery to improvise, to explore. So it's a territory for you where you go and you explore yourself, you dive into it. And it's just more than a melodic structure. It's actually life.
Very nice. And how would you describe it? Someone's at your door.
But it's okay. People keep coming and going. This is a musician
This
house.
is India. So, how would you describe or compare it to, say, Western music? How you? I did actually. We didn't even get to the part of how you started your journey
Hmm.
um, in this path, this life path of Indian classical music. So
Yeah.
maybe you want to share that first before you compare and tell us about the difference between Western classical music, perhaps, and Indian classical music. Yeah.
So basically, I started as a youngster when I was a child, and I could incorporate musical phrases very well and replicate them very well. So they discovered that I could sing. And my grandfather used to play the Indian drum, the pakawaj. And from there, there was some music in the family, and this is how it all started. They put me into a regular music class. And
Yeah.
initially, what started as a hobby became a passion later on in life. And then I studied music. I did my research in music from here, from the University of Delhi. And I am a performing artist from the All India Radio. And I perform, I teach, and I share my music around the world. And we have a platform which is called the Music Plus Retreats, wherein I do retreats all around the world. And
Yeah.
I try to share my knowledge of Indian classical music and sacred music and mantra music with whoever is interested in diving deep into it.
Yes. And that's actually how we met, isn't it? Because I joined a training in Rishikesh, and part of the training, mantra heart, forgotten the name right now, was
Art of Sound.
Heart of Sound, of course, yeah.
Yes. Art
And
of
then,
Sound is the thing where we met, and on the banks of Mother Ganga in Rishikesh, and
yeah,
from then it has been a wonderful experience sharing my experiences, my art through the platform of Heart of Sound.
yeah.
And we have had a growing family of students, learners, musicians, and it's great to share your music around with people through that.
Yeah, and now in this platform, like I haven't obviously been able to get to Delhi for quite some time. And so it was great for me to be able to actually reconnect with you during the first lockdown, I think, and actually be able to have classes and with you and share this some time with you over the web, quite over Zoom even. Some would think
Yes.
that it wouldn't work at all, but actually that you can really transfer the energy and the power of
Yes.
the rag
Yes.
and the sounds from this medium, which is
Mhm.
surprising, I think.
No, it's wonderful to see that technology can do so much, and people are doing live concerts. People are
Mm.
sharing their music through the web, and it's really easy. And just press of a button, and you can be connected around the world.
Yeah.
And so much so that even in Delhi, the students who come to me at home to learn from me, also they have moved back to the internet, and we are doing web classes with them.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
technology is great.
Yes. And also tell me, so you still go to your teacher, or you would call him your guru. So some people are not always so comfortable with the name guru, but it was also your teacher, and your he has helped you progress along the way. And tell us the difference where, because many people in the West think of, okay, you have a teacher, and then you have it for a specific amount of time, like a couple of years at school, or then you go to uni and you have your teacher and then you leave. But it's a completely different story in your situation and often in India, right?
Yeah, not only me, I mean, every Indian musician, every Indian art that is being learned is supposed to be learned through a guru. And yeah, for us, for me, he's my guru, and more than my guru, he's like a father figure, the guiding
Mhm.
force in my life.
Yeah,
So you cannot live without that.
yeah,
So my
yeah.
association with my guru, so my guru's name is Pandit Baldev Raj Verma.
Okay, can you say that
He,
again a little more slowly?
Pandit Baldev Raj Verma.
Okay.
And yeah, he follows a lineage which is called the Indore lineage in the Indian classical music form.
Mhm.
And so I have been training with him for almost 22, 23 years now, and still
Well,
going, because
and never
there is
never
so
get
much to learn, Helen. There is so
tired.
much to
Yes.
know, and so much to learn. And with such gurus, with such stalwarts
Yeah.
being at your side, you would obviously want to take as much as you can from them. So it's not
Yeah.
enough. One life is not enough. So
Exactly.
in
And
India, all of us, all musicians, all aspiring artists, they do have a guru, and they keep on pursuing their training as
yes.
long as they can, because learning is something where you create a bank so that you can share it around the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it
And
should go
obviously
on.
that brings into another a question that's quite different maybe from the Western way of learning and perspective, is it brings in a whole nother element of spirituality. So where Indian classical music is a spiritual practice, right? Not, it's a life journey, and it's something quite different from just, not just, but learning an instrument or learning to sing. Or can you tell us a little bit about, yeah, what, where the spiritual aspect comes into it from your perspective?
It's Indian classical music and spiritualism are two sides of the same coin, actually. it's one thing together, because Indian, if you trace the history of Indian classical music, it was born in the temples.
Mm-hmm.
It was born to do stuti, to do prayer to the
Yeah.
Lord, to
Yeah.
the Supreme, to the Divine. And
Mm-hmm.
so Indian classical music itself is an epitome of spirituality in itself. So when we Indian classical musicians, we practice ragas, we sing ragas. It's a form of spiritualism. You
Yeah.
dive so deep into the realms of sound, sacred sound, that you are into a spiritual experience already. And so
And
training in Indian classical music and mantra music and sacred music is in itself a form of spiritualism. You need not do any other form of spiritualism. Like, I have my guru and I go to him to learn.
yeah.
So I get all my knowledge of life from the music that I learn.
Mm-hmm. And that's the draw that keeps you coming back. I mean, I'm a complete beginner, baby steps. And I think, wow, I've got, the rest of my life. I mean, I'm 45, so I started late. So I have a long journey to go, but that's the beauty of it that I find is like the journey is really the path, and that's the progress and the learning. There isn't, yes, there's somewhere to go in a way, but actually the process,
Yeah.
the being and doing is where that can really connect you, and that's the connection is to that really that deep sense of being in your soul, in your heart space, and vibrationally you're raising your energy, you're doing so many things to create a sense a better sense of self
Yes.
through you, and it also it changes you and it uplifts you. So every time you sing and share your voice and learn and listen also,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. I am, and we are lucky to be experiencing this thing, which
Yeah.
is, which is better experience than said. It's a whole experience, and you can like dedicate your life, surrender your life to it,
Yes,
and
surrender. I like that word. It is
yeah,
because it's a yogic,
you
also a
surrender.
yogic practice in a way. It's about yeah, like we've said many times, a journey and a lifelong progression, and enjoying every step of the way.
It is a yogic practice. Even when you are performing on stage and you are in front of like hundreds of people audience, you yourself are doing your yogic meditation, and in that process you are carrying those hundreds of people who are sitting in front of you
Yeah,
along with you into a journey.
yeah, yeah,
And so Indian classical music is, and mantra music is never a destination, it's always a journey.
yeah.
And in that journey you keep experiencing different things.
Mm-hmm.
And the marvel of the journey, okay, what's ahead, what's in front of me now, what more is coming. So that interests us, and
Yeah,
that is our driving force.
yeah, yeah. Cool. Um, I wonder if anyone has who's joining, if anybody has a question. Maybe they all know you or they don't know me. If anyone does have a question, you can always post it in the comments and we can do our best to answer. So yeah, you've kind of answered it already about our life journey, but what have you got anything else to add about what is the value of training in a particular tradition or following a lineage? Yeah.
See, the value of training is always there for any art or craft that
Mm.
you're trying to dive into. Whether it is pottery, whether it is painting, whether it is dancing, and music likewise. So there is an importance of training in it, that you
Yeah.
first go yourself, get trained into it. There is a process,
Mm-hmm.
there is a method by which you are inculcated into it, and there are teachers who can hold your hands and draw you into that and show you the beautiful world that it
Yeah.
comprises of. And
Yeah.
then you start seeing it through the eyes of your teacher, through the eyes of your guru, and you start exploring yourself slowly, slowly. And this is how a tradition, a value is inculcated inside you.
Mm-hmm.
And this leads you to your practice. So the first thing that you do is you train yourself. You go to a teacher, you get knowledge, and then the next thing is that you practice.
Yeah, it doesn't work
That
without
can
the
be,
practice, does it? I know
yes,
that.
Helen, and that can be seen. That can be seen. The goddess of knowledge and music and all the forms of arts that we do is
Lakshmi.
Saraswati.
Saraswati, sorry, yeah.
It's Saraswati. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Lakshmi brings wealth, but
yeah,
Saraswati is the goddess of learning.
yeah, yeah.
And so you see Saraswati, you will never see Saraswati without the Veena. So
Yeah,
she is always practicing, which means you should keep practicing to
yeah,
improve your.
yeah.
So training, practice, patience, perseverance, and seva, bhakti are the ways with which you can experience this art, this
Yeah,
form in a much deeper and better way.
yeah. And the savor element is where I mean, I had the fortune of being able to go to your guru once many years ago with you in India, and
Yes.
the savor is really one of the aspects, I guess, is about serving him and serving um, many different ways of doing savor, of giving back your service to society and helping others, right? For those that don't know, understand the word savor.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, and it's magical, Helen. By doing seva, what you are doing is you are keeping yourself with your teacher, with your guru. And with that togetherness, there are many things that keep coming to you as training, even if you are not formally training, like one-on-one, if you're sitting and training, sitting with a harmonium, sitting with a tanpura and learning. Even if that is not happening, even if you are talking to your guru about some other thing, uh, there is sacred knowledge which is slowly dripping in inside you by just
yeah,
being with him.
yeah. Just the presence.
Just the presence is
Yes,
enough. So
yes.
I have felt that in my 22, 23 years of association with my teacher, with my guru, I have felt the same thing. And I wish to continue as long as he is there for me.
Yeah, yeah. And I think, again, for many of us in the West, I think we're trained in such a different way in our minds of like the idea of savor, of giving back for nothing, but you are receiving lots, but people don't necessarily would see it in that way, in the same way. And I think it's like a new way of rewiring your brain of like why you're offering, why you're giving back and being in service to your teachers, your other and many other often other ways of giving back in life, but not taking away the essence of savor, I guess, is to take away the me story. They're always thinking about me and what am I doing and where am I going, and giving
It
back.
never works. It
Yeah.
never works,
Whereas
does
you
in
offer
Indian.
something, yeah, to people, and you're in service to someone else and helping them in whatever form you can, then this is so
Yes.
rewarding,
Yeah,
right?
Helen, I have been training people from the West for the past 7, 8 years, 10 years. So I have been observing one thing that they're very practical. They try to grasp things and then they start sharing it around.
Yeah,
But that doesn't happen so quickly. It takes its own time
yeah,
to prepare yourself. Basically, it is like you keep learning, you keep practicing, training, so your glass gets filled. It's getting filled, and then it starts overflowing.
yeah,
There
yeah,
comes a time when it starts overflowing, and when it starts overflowing through you, people start getting it from you,
yeah,
taking it from you.
yeah,
The others can also fill in their buckets from there,
yeah,
but
yeah,
not until you yourself are overflowing with it.
yeah, yeah,
So
definitely agree.
that needs time. You
Yeah.
cannot bring it in a fast forward mode.
And this is the fast forward thinking of the West. Like
Everywhere,
I remember being in
it's
India.
not in the West, it's
Yeah.
here also.
Also,
People
yeah,
want to become
everywhere
stars
just
overnight.
the fast, yeah, the fast society, the throwaway. throwaway society and fast. Everything has to be fast. We want to learn
Yeah.
fast. We want to eat fast. We want to grasp
Yeah.
everything fast. We need to go fast. And this is exactly it. Like the practices that we do through mantra, through the ragas, through singing, it all is about really slowing you down to absorb and receive. And that then you can only connect inwards and then outwardly, I
Yeah.
think.
You cannot take people to a place where you haven't been yourself many times.
Yeah, yeah, very true.
So inside your house, inside your own space, you need to go to that place hundreds of times,
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
that on stage you can take people
Mm-hmm.
with you.
On the journey,
First instance, yeah,
authentically being, yeah,
authentically.
yeah,
You're right. I love the word authentically. Nothing is made up. Everything is authentic.
yeah,
Everything is true to the roots.
yeah.
We have to water the roots to keep the tree alive.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We cannot keep brushing and cleaning the leaves. That won't do.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. I mean, I remember also once a teacher or somebody's telling me when I was in India, you know, for Indian kids and things, they might spend, I can't remember how long, you probably know this better than me, but a very long time finding their sa. And for Western, when Western pupils come, it's like, okay, one day. Because they know
Yeah.
that the Westerners haven't got the tolerance for it, and they wouldn't come back if in the same way, you know, they want more, more, more. But yeah, actually it's the slow journey and progression that can go the deepest.
Yeah, and believe me, that's the trick. That's how we teachers filter the serious students with the non-serious ones. Ask them to sing Sa for a month, and the one who runs away is the non-essential one, and the one who stays and braves that will stay with you.
Yeah. So another point bringing on. So what is sa, re, ga, ma? How do we compare it for those of us here in Europe, etc.?
So
It's not
Sa Re,
really it's not really comparable, but some people would
no,
know.
it's not comparable, but you can draw parallels between
Yeah,
both,
yeah.
and see how they are taken in the Western music and how they are taken in Indian music.
Mm.
So in Western music, the notes are the same. We have the equally tempered scale all over the world,
Yeah.
and it's a universal scale where everyone can come together and play together. But you see that the expression of the sound
Mm-hmm.
is something that is unique with Indian music.
Yeah.
So Sare Gama Padhani are not just sounds; they are
They're not like
personality.
do re mi. I don't even know the
Do
Western
re mi.
one. Do re
So
mi.
the Western equivalent of expressing that is do re mi fa sol la ti do, and
Yeah.
we have sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa. So that expression of sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa is a well-researched component in Indian music where people have thought about what is sa and what is re and what is ga. It is just the first syllable of a full word that we sing. So sa comes from the word shadaj. Now shadaj is derived from two Sanskrit words, shat and aj, which means father of six. So
Mm-hmm.
shadaj is father of six. So you only need your sa, and from your sa, the rest of the six can be determined. Regama padhani can come out from sa.
Huh.
So that's how Rishabh literally, the word Rishabh, you will find boys with names Rishabh in India.
Mm-hmm.
So Rishabh is literally a name for the note, but we sing the first part of it, Ri or Re. We
Mm-hmm.
sing Ri, Sa Re or Sa Ri, both the things. But Rishabh is the full word. And what does Rishabh mean? It means the illuminated one, the one who is full of knowledge, the Rishi, right? So it's
Yeah.
not just a note, it's a full expression of a person, of a personality. So
Yeah.
sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa, it becomes a full expression. And you see there are specific places from where we source that voice. Sa is a hissing sound. Re is a sound produced with dentals, with tongue. Re, Ga is a guttural sound from the throat. Ma is nasal. Pa is labial from the lips. Pa. Dha is a cerebral sound. It rings in your head like a bell. Dha. And ni is again a nasal sound, but with e vowel. Ni. So it has different expressions. So for us, when Saregama Padhani, it becomes a full language. We don't need literature for that.
Mm-hmm.
Gare gama padani dha pa pa ma gare gare ma ga. I don't need words for that. Right.
Already sends a tingle when you share.
Yeah, so
So
this
that,
is how
yeah.
is the importance of, because in Western music they just take it as a frequency to
Yeah.
practice,
Yeah.
the pitch, to calculate the pitch. Where am I?
Mm-hmm.
Da
Mm-hmm.
ra 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 can also be done for
Yeah.
practice.
Yeah.
But in India, using Saregama is more than practice. It is a spiritual experience. It's a journey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Very much so. And I know when I'm having my class with you, my baby steps are, and you said it's like this is goes on forever. This practice of call and response using Saregama, you know. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And because you read in between the lines in Indian music, so it's not just Saregama. So
Yeah.
it's like the connection of Sa with Re, the communication of Re with Ma. So Sa Re, so Sa Gare, Sa Re. You see how
Yeah.
Re is taking its grace from Ga,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that. So it is not very robotic. Sa Re Ga Ma Ga Re Sa. It's
No.
not straight.
Yeah.
It's a communication between the notes. It's not just one note. It's
Yeah.
how the notes communicate with each other. They travel.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you need the call and response sessions with your teacher.
Yeah.
So the teacher sings and then you respond, because basically our music is oral and oral. It's oral tradition.
Mm-hmm.
So the guru sings, the teacher sings, the students hears and produces, exactly reproduces the thing. So this is how it leads initially towards a training platform, where
Mm-hmm.
students then starts imitating the guru, imitating the teacher, and from there finds a new path for himself or herself.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I can say that yeah, I'm really happy and like, so glad that I continued after having a break. I started again. Let's say really, it started from the beginning.
Thank you, Helen. And
And
Helen,
now,
let me tell you, for those who are watching and they don't know Helen, Helen is an excellent yoga teacher, a very good therapist with the body. She understands every nerve of the body, and she is an excellent yoga teacher as well, and teaches me. And what is important, Helen, is she has completed the picture. She is doing external yoga, and now with this music, she is also doing internal yoga. So both the things are together now for Helen.
yes,
So I have
I'm
been
trying to
telling
have
this
a
all
whole day.
around the world. I have been telling this whenever I go to yoga studios to share my music. I say, you're just working on your body, on your external body. What about the internal one?
Mm-mm. Yeah, yeah,
What are we doing for that? How are we nourishing that?
yeah,
So
yeah.
that can only be nourished through sound. So why not borrow this sound from Indian classical music practices and take it as a part of training in yoga studios as well?
Yes, yes, definitely. I think sound is becoming a mantra itself is becoming more and more popular, especially in Germany. I think mantra is very, very popular in Germany. But often still the whole yoga scene is dominated by fast and fit, I think, in a way. Hopefully we're moving forward beyond that. But it's become a bit more like an aerobic practice often than actually a deep spiritual connection to oneself, and to all that's around. So yeah, and I think more of the sound is definitely necessary and needed. And even if it's not your chosen path to share, actually I think everybody can share. I was not a singer as a absolutely never sang as a kid, never shared my voice because I always could never remember any words of English songs. So then I was like, and it was only through mantra and going to like a yoga workshop by mistake. It was half sound mantra, and then it kind of awoke something within me that I was like, wow, this is so quick and fast to connect to the heart. And okay, I've never heard this sound from me before. It's like a kind of a revelation and an awakening of like, actually, okay, maybe I'm going to only have my unique voice, and that's perfect, and it will change and grow perhaps as I stay on this track, but it doesn't have to be perfect. And I think that's where people think they kind of block themselves off from starting something like this because they think I'm too old or I haven't got a good voice. But I know from myself that changes. The age obviously changes and the voice can change with
right.
the most simple practices that I share and I do every day, as you suggested.
Yeah.
With the
It's
sound.
never too late to begin, Ellen. It's never too late to start, and it's never too late to draw out your own journey. There are various branches in the huge tree of sacred music, mantra music, classical music. You just figure out your own small way by which you can entertain yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's it.
Yeah. So, Sudhanshu, before we wrap it up, would you like to share something? Or what's your favorite mantra, or anything else you want to sing a little bit for us, or what would you like?
So then,
Oh, and
I
you
will
have the
present my.
tempura right there. The tempura.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
we
this
can't
is
quite
the
see it, but
instrument. This is our instrument which we use
yeah.
mostly to express our music. And so I'll be doing a small bit of, we call it Rag Yaman. It's an evening melody. Our ragas are set to times according to the sound that they are incorporated with. So this melody is an evening melody, and I composed the Gayatri mantra in this rag, Yaman. So I'll be presenting a small glimpse of the Gayatri mantra.
Wonderful, wonderful.
So that means.
So stay tuned if you're still there. So Sudhanshu is going to share a little bit of his offering.
Ni re ga re sa sa ni ga ni re ga sa. Om bhur bhuva swaha tat saviturvarenyam भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यम् भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यम् भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
very much for bringing me with you and sharing, having a chat about music, about sacred music, about mantra, about ragas.
Yes.
And
Thank you so much, Sudhanshu. And how can people find you? You maybe can put in the chat the how people can find you, like if you have a website
So
or
I have a website. It goes sudhanshusharma.org. And they can also find me in, I have a Facebook page with Music Plus Retreats.
great.
So this Music Plus Retreats is a child of mine which we have started, and we do retreats all around the world. We have done retreats in Bali, in Australia, in France.
Mm-hmm.
And had it not been for Corona, last year we would have done it in Germany and
Germany
Switzerland.
too.
So it's an ongoing process, and we are traveling all around the world with these retreats where people can come and experience the power of sound.
Wonderful, wonderful. So I wish you a good evening. It must be late there for you now, pretty
No, it's
late.
just perfect evening for a perfect evening raga.
Ah,
Yeah.
cool. Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you again,
Wish you
Sudhanshu.
a
It's
lovely
wonderful
day
to
ahead.
chat to you. Yes, and I will see you soon. And anyone else, if anyone has any questions, please feel free to write to me or to write to Sudhanshu. Yeah, we love and have passion about mantra, sound, and bhakti. So.
Thank you. Thank you, Helen. Bye-bye.
Ciao. Now I have to work out how to turn it.